You made a standing committee presentation, and the presentation's attached, and they made a verbal request. They were looking for immediate support, and they were looking for continuing support. So the question is, at this point, is there any information in this management report, or is there any information that's not in here that council would require for the record? We did reach out to them and asked them for their budget, have yet to receive it.
The clerk has informed me she just received it.
Yeah, so, okay. It just came in, so this will be attached to the report when it goes forward for a final decision. That was the piece that staff identified as being necessary, but I'm curious if there's any other info that council would like to see.
Speaking from the chair, Mr. Manager, no additional information outside of the budget we're getting. But I guess for me, I don't know how to approach this. I'd ask your advice. Like, you know, am I supportive of an ongoing contribution of $30,000? I don't think so at this time. But am I supportive of something? Yes, I think I am, and I just don't know, like, how to facilitate that in terms of. Could we have a discussion with them, or maybe look at it maybe when we get the numbers? Like I think that they provide a valuable service in the community, and if they are struggling financially, I'm open to a contribution. But I don't know if what they're requesting is that level. Like I'd love to see us maybe contribute something, and then ask the province to do the same, or it just like if it comes forward as a motion of, do you want to do $30,000, like it's difficult for me to see myself voting yes, like in an annual ongoing way. But I also don't feel good about saying, no, we won't help at all when we know you're struggling and provide an important service to the community.
The easiest way to deal with that would be in the options list, but provide the support as requested, provide the support at a different level than requested, and then the third option, decline to provide them. So we could put that, which would leave a motion available to any member of council to fill in the blank in terms of, I would move that we provide X dollars.
I do see in the email the clerk quickly showed me as well, there was a reference to like some sort of a service contract. I don't know if that if that's something that staff could explore maybe as well before it comes back.
Yeah, I'd have to look into that. My understanding is some communities have service contracts with their SPCA to take care of the things that our animal control officer takes care of.
Oh yeah, you want to speak to that, Councillor?
Yeah, it was brought up at the standing committee meeting. So as the manager said, in other communities, the animal control officer would operate out of the SPCA. So the fees in that contract would be included for like location and maintenance and that kind of thing. So it does help in that way financially. So it's part of the contract with the animal control officer. So rather than our current model, which has the animal control officer working out of his own place, he would be located, I'm just using him as an example, but he would be located at the SPCA, and they would maintain that facility with funding from us that way.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's something to explore, or I guess it'll come back in the way you mentioned, where it can be.
Yeah, we'd have to get familiar with what the difference is. What you're talking about is potentially ending part of the obligations of the animal control officer and including them there, and I'd have to check on the ability to handle animals other than cats, I guess. I'm not sure the SPCA with the other animals that we do. So, but it's certainly we're looking at, because it is the method by which a lot of communities get funding to their SPCA for that building and that maintenance and that.
Yeah, because actually now that it's coming back to me, when this came before, I think one of the questions that was asked is, could we have a note of what other cities around New Brunswick provide? And I don't see it in the report, so I don't know if we did ever gather that information, but that would be, I'd love to know what the other comparable communities to us are doing, if anything.
Okay.
Yeah, Councillor King.
Can they apply for that $4,000 every year?
Yeah,
Put that-
I think their needs are more than $4,000.
Yeah, I know, but year after year.
Oh, in a minute, they have, my understanding, they would have more than enough volunteer hours to qualify for this funding. And my sense is that the 4,000, while they'd probably appreciate it, it's not going to solve their problem. That's where
Yeah.
I am. So.
I think Councillor King, like they could and maybe have, since we topped it up, applied for this year.
Yeah.
But their request was 30,000 now, and then also like building it in an annual ongoing way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Is there any other information? Councillor King, anything else
sorry.
from you? No, Councillor Harris.
Worship, just a quick question. I know the RSC was here last week with their budgets. The SPCA serves just not the city residents, it serves residents from outside the city. And I think that should be something that should be looked at. I mean, they're getting involved with everything, hands on every pot now. So at the end of the day, and I've been after that even at the airport for the regional airport. If we're going to try to work together, then obviously it's got to be a cost share too. The city's taken on a lot of costs. 50-some% is the cost for us every year for the RSC. Well, we have the cost in the city that we provide out, and I have no issue with the SPCA. I think it's an organization that we have to support. Our furry friends obviously need all the help they can get in the winter also. So, and to make sure, but I think the RSC, I mean, we have to go back to them before their budget. Mr. Mayor, you're the guy at the table, so I think the RSC probably in their other municipalities should be up on the SPCA. And put a funding in there on a yearly basis, and we'll go in at our 50%. And I think it's only right. And the other municipalities always want to talk about not getting this or not getting that, or the RSC's getting this. Well, you know what? This is a service provided for their taxpayers in their areas, and I hope that goes back through you to the RSC, that they should be at the table for the SPCA moving forward.
Happy to take that back. Sorry, anything else on that one? From anyone? A motion to move it up. Councillor King, and again, assume it'll go up when we get the information.
Yes, what do other cities do? And I think there was a reference to RSC. Is there a possibility there? So we would get, once we get that information and build it into the report,
Yeah.
we're looking for authority to take it, not necessarily the next week, but when this stuff comes in.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So a motion from Councillor King, second by Councillor Harris on the question. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.